the May 5th and the May 19th minutes. Do I have a motion about those minutes?
Hold on one sec, John. You can do the.
I move to approve the 5th.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second for approval of the May 5th minutes. Is there any discussion? All in favor of approving the May 5th meetings signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, Nancy abstains. And we have, so that motion passes. And I'm now looking for a motion to approve the May 19th minutes. Note that the May 19th minutes is a chronicle of the discussion we had. There was no action taken other than the discussion of those items. I'm looking for a motion to approve the May 19th minutes.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Steve.
Second.
Second from Michael. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the May 19th minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Nancy and Deanna abstained. Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to the President's update. The President hoped to be here and is not.
Right behind us. You better go ahead and,
Oh, you mean?
it's on the road right behind us.
I see. So I was behind you. So I hope you had a chance to read the President's update. This is his last Senate meeting. His contract expires on June 15th. So this will be our last opportunity to have a chat with him, if indeed we do. What I'd like to do is read the last two paragraphs of this update. And it states, I started my higher education career at EOU, thus I suppose it's fitting that I end it here. I got into this line of work in 1983, though I had no idea then it was the beginning of a life's passion for me. Helping people break the mold that society casts for them is powerful work. We change lives, we open doors to new opportunities for people. It is incredibly important work that may never get the recognition that it deserves. Thus, thank you for what you do. As EOU settles into a new president, new board, and a new way of operating, please remember the importance of the work you do, and please remember that changing lives is never easy, but it is a very noble cause. You would be this work, and always remember, makes a difference for others. We were all put on this planet for a reason and leave a legacy. As educators, each and every one of you, from the custodians to the grounds crew to the office staff to the faculty to the administrators, are changing lives and in the process leaving your legacy for the benefit of others. There is no more noble cause than this. Thus, keep your chins up and your eyes fully focused on that prize, for it is worthy of your best efforts. Thank you, one and all, for a memorable year. Signed, Jay Kent. So I would entertain a motion from the Senate to thank President Kenton for his service at EOU and wish him well.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second from Rhea. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Motion passes. And President Kenton, since he's right behind Danny, may have something to say, and I hope he'll be able to make it. Provost update, I have not received one. I thought perhaps we'd have the provost here, but I don't see her.
She went up the other stairs to her office and she'll be here shortly.
Okay, so we'll proceed, and when the provost arrives, we'll we'll entertain her update. So I'm going to move on to the EPCC items. We have a number, and the first thing we need to do is decide what is going to be on the consent agenda and what needs to be on the action agenda. And in my read, the econ program change and the accompanying courses need to be on the action agenda. And the ECE program change, or program initiation, next step, needs to be on the action agenda. And the outdoor recreation minor needs to be on the action agenda. I believe all the others can go to the consent agenda. Does that sound fitting to the senators? Right. So I entertain a motion first to approve the items left on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Further discussion about the items on the consent agenda? All in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Consent agenda passes. So, Scott, could you tell us about the econ program change and what we're looking at?
Sure, it's just a change to the capstone. It's actually a different approach to the capstone with the new econ degree. We didn't have our own capstone, so the capstone will be split into 2 terms instead of 1 to try to squeeze out a good product in 10 weeks. We wanted to give them 20 weeks, and we split up the credits 2 and 2 instead of 1 course. And so it's basically it's just the first course will be kind of teaching methods, and then the second course, the second term will be the actual project.
Thank you. Sally, was there anything else that came through about this particular issue at EPCC that we should know about?
No.
Okay.
I move to approve the econ changes then.
Second.
And a second. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That passes. Thank you. And the ECE program change.
Okay.
Rhea?
The Early Childhood Program is making a minor change to 2 of its courses, taking 1 credit away from ECED 319, which is a technology course, making it from 3 credits to 2 credits, and applying that 4th credit to the ECED 418, which is a DPD course. And the entire intention of this change is to keep the ECED program at 60 credits, yet fulfill the DPD requirement within the 1 course.
So is the ECED 418 currently 3?
It is
We're gonna
currently
move it
3
to 4?
credits, it would be moving to 4. Correct.
Move to approve the changes?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the changes. A second?
Scott second.
Scott, you have a second? Okay. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Thank you. Darren, outdoor education program. Could you come up here?
Sure.
Yeah, excuse me. Outdoor recreation.
And leadership.
What do we got?
We, in conjunction with that new outdoor program director, we eventually would like to move to a major, but we're going to start with a minor. We start small and work our way up, and we live in an environment where it's very conducive to outdoor recreation, and in particular, letting people develop skills in order to be leaders in outdoor recreation. So this minor is the first step to providing that opportunity for students. It's 30 credits exactly for a minor. It uses a combination of existing courses, some new outdoor activity courses, and then a couple of new courses within either the outdoor prefix or the exercise prefix.
I think it sounds great, Darren. I hate to be the one to say this. Just think about changing your acronym to introduce it. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we might just leave it as out.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Save yourself.
Yeah, or just leave it at outdoor recreation.
Correct.
Any further questions for Darren?
What's the cost?
What's the cost? It's all in the, if you look on the minor form, we have a budget in there with expected cost and revenue, and we were, say we tried to be kind of moderate in terms of our projected revenue. We could have fewer students and still meet cost. So some of the courses, we're going to use a combination of current faculty, credit for, or teaching load to the outdoor recreation director, and adjuncts to courses.
Do we have a motion to approve the outdoor recreation program?
Move to approve.
Okay. Second, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. We have one abstention, Nancy Knoll. Okay, motion passed. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
That concludes the EPCC section of our agenda. Online course evaluation questionnaire. We devoted some time discussing this in our May 19th meeting.
Since the provost is here now, should we go back to that item before?
We could, yeah, why don't we do that? Sarah, do you have a report for us?
No.
Never mind.
Even better.
Proceed.
Proceed.
You know how to move them.
It's the first reaction proposal is unchanged from when I presented it 2 weeks ago. So
And we have discussed that. Do we have a motion to approve the course evaluation, online evaluation form?
I'll move to approve that for you.
I'll second.
Huh? Any further discussion?
Was the decision then to make it a pilot for the fall? Is that what we're going to try to do? Since I wasn't at the discussion on the
the
19th?
proposal is to move forward with this idea.
Mhm.
Implementation is the next issue, and the implementation of this is still to be addressed.
Okay.
In our discussions, the implementation of this involves the establishment of an online evaluation system that will get us the sort of response rates that we need going forward. And we understand the provost office is working on that and hoping to have something in place, Sarah, by January?
I believe that's
Yeah.
the date.
So,
Okay.
so the motion is that the Senate is approving the form we created as
Okay.
the desired evaluation form.
Thank you.
Any questions from our remote members? Yes, please. Okay, hearing no further discussion, we'll take a vote. All in favor of approving as stated, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Nancy abstained. Motion passes. Thank you, Steve, and thank your committee and you for getting this done. Essential components. We discussed this at our last meeting also. And there was a fair bit of discussion about what happens to this. What does it do? And I suggested that put it in Mansur as a counterpoint to the business plan that the president has proposed to the board of trustees. Not that the business plan is not of merit, but it's a complete view of what Eastern Oregon University ought to be. That we need in the revenue programs that serve the region, that there are essential things that a university does that we need to have as part of our university. And what we consider here is a list of them. Probably an English, but a list of attention. And my proposal is to stop.
My fault, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, what I think we need to do is provide this as the essential components as a counterpoint to a business plan for the university, reminding our board of trustees that our university isn't just made up of revenue promoting programs, that there are things that are essential to this university and to the campus that must be paid attention to as they guide the way forward for the university. So what I'd like us to do is present this to the Board of Trustees. And I have written out a motion, but as president of this organization, I don't believe that I can make this motion. Rayette was a member of our committee, and I was hoping that you could perhaps read through that and see if you're willing to make that.
Is it the whole thing or just this part?
Just, it's at the top of the part.
I would be willing to make this motion.
Thank you.
The Faculty Senate of Eastern Oregon University asserts that in order to fill its mission, our university must contain the following components. These components combine to make up a vibrant on-campus culture, strong academic programs, and service to the Eastern Oregon region that are essential to the health of the EOU. We recommend that the Board of Trustees keep them in mind and refer to them as they lead and guide our university.
Second?
Okay. Further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please signify by
This is
saying.
going to be a discussion.
Oh,
So I just wanted, there's a little housekeeping that needs to be done in the last one to make the verbs work appropriately. So I will move to, I would like to add the emotion that we can make our verbs parallel so that they all
friendly
work
amendment.
with that, yes. And then I'll be happy to support it. Just at the end.
Through by serving.
Through by serving, yeah,
You
that
just struck
worries
the
me.
by, that should work, through serving.
Yeah. This last one, service to the Eastern Oregon region through serving as a regional hub instead of the by serving.
Okay,
So just remove the.
That would make me happier.
got it.
Thank you.
Actually, I guess there's a similar issue in the second group, strong academic programs that healthy art programs.
Yes, that one has to be fixed too. The
I'm sorry, which one?
strong academic programs, third bullet.
Right now it reads strong academic programs that healthy art programs.
How about strong academic programs that encourage and endure an appreciation of the arts? But that doesn't have the high idea of the healthy arts program.
Support.
Support healthy arts
Support.
programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay,
Thank you.
any others?
So whenever those two
No,
are
sure. Okay. Thank you, Deanne. I hear no further discussion. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. One opposed. And any abstains? 2 abstains,
Abstain.
3 abstains. Thank you, motion passes. Okay, Ray Brown, we're to academic conduct policy. Could you join us, please? Oh, Colleen, I didn't.
Colleen, go ahead. I'll let you take it from here.
My apologies.
That's okay, I
Give
can.
you my.
So thank you. So the academic honesty code went to University Council and it had been approved with one minor revision, and that is under cheating. The recommendation by Aaron Thornburg is to include another word in there, which is dishonest. So it would read dishonest use or attempted dishonest and or unauthorized use of materials of information. So that's the only other revision.
So move to accept or to approve this academic honesty code changes.
Huh? Further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Thank you. Our next item of business are the bylaws and governing documents that are going to be considered in for our new board of trustees. And we discussed those at length at our last meeting. And as you know, Deanna and I worked with Chris Burford on crafting these, and in conjunction with the University Council and ASEOU. The University Council has endorsed these changes and is recommending that the board accept them. I have a couple of requests at ASEOU, and I haven't heard back from them. And we discussed these a fair bit, and I did not hear any issues with these. What you have before you are the cleaner copies of the same documents that we discussed last time. Chris Burford cleaned them up, and these are the exact copies that are going to be presented to the Board of Trustees on Thursday. So what I'm looking for is a motion to endorse the bylaws and these governing documents as suitable for adoption by the Board of Trustees.
Mhm.
I'll move that.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. On the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Nancy's abstaining. Thank you. That motion passes. And we are now to election of faculty senate officers. And that is an action item. I have discussion items beyond that. Do you want to move to the discussion and do election of officers last, or do you want to keep them in this order? Do you have a preference?
I think this should be done now.
Yes?
Their actions.
Yes, all right. So what I've tried to do is with the nominations of officers, give us a little more time, because in the past few years, we have nominated the officers for the Senate at the end of this meeting. And it seemed like it might be useful to have some names in front of us and give us a chance to think about things. So for the office of president, I've been nominated, and Jeff Dents has also been nominated. And I've asked our vice president to handle this portion of the election.
Are we going to ask for nominations from the floor?
Yes, we are.
Are there any additional nominations from the floor? Hearing none, then we will have the elections. Since there are more than one individual running, the opportunity to speak would be okay, I guess. Is Jeff here?
Don't see
No. So,
Since Jeff doesn't have an opportunity to speak, I'll
Okay.
abstain also.
then Heidi, do we have the slips of paper? Thank you much. So, pick a name, any name.
Can you just clarify who votes? Because we do have other senators in the room, not at the table
All
for
of
next
the
year.
senators, but both the senators elected at this are currently serving and the senators coming in. So if any of y'all would like to get on up here then. We need to vote. Anybody else? Should the person write a name, I'll swing by and elect them in it. And then I would well,
One at a time.
yeah, this is just for the president. So either write down either Jeff or John, and then you just say something Teresa, yeah, email, so that you maintain your, whatever that is called. There you go. In fact, actually grab some and pass them on so we can do this for later. Okay?
What do you want me to do now?
I'll come get them.
There'll only be two, well, there might be two.
Or yeah.
I can
Can you get the side, that side of the
Actually,
table?
that one could also be, so in theory.
Oh, I
She's
see.
coming around to your side. I'm just willing to.
Is that your most?
You got a fourth stack, there you go.
We're
We're good.
The rest of them
For
gotta
future
pass.
elections.
Val can come left in if you want to.
Oh, no, that's your call.
I've written all the names down. Just keep-
Okay, Heidi, you're involved in this.
Their elections. What's
We don't always
future
feel like
elections?
I'm voting as good.
Forgot about
I
that.
hope you're singing on the side for me. Someday, all my future's in your hands.
Send more of those.
Voting rights our way.
I would think
You
so.
got my own.
Hey,
I mean,
will you pass some of those?
Well, no, I don't.
Papers our direction.
But if I,
Would those be called a ballot?
I think this.
Of sorts.
We probably have more than one more,
Pieces
don't
of
we?
high-tech ballots. Those toward pieces of paper. Oh, you mean the ballots?
Yeah.
This one.
It's not gonna be contested.
I think they were nicely shaped.
And we have University
Yeah.
Council.
A lot of
Precision.
So there was some.
We have. Teresa, have you sent in your vote?
I'm sorry.
No, I know you did take some, but Teresa sent.
And
I didn't
asked you
attend
for a
every
report for quite a
university
while.
council meeting
I've
for
been
nothing.
doing that, I'm
Not just
Because-
sorry. Sarah, I apologize. And I apologize for snubbing you all of these meetings.
Well, I think it was Scott last year.
What?
University council rep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now we have to.
Scott in the spirit.
So, we will have to.
You did go to one.
revote
That was noble of you.
because there is not a clear majority, you have to have 10 votes or higher. So, we're going around again, I
told you to
suppose.
stay.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, unless it's like that, and then we can lobby each other.
I don't really know. You have to have 10 votes or higher. But there has to be a means to get to that.
Change the outcome.
Yeah, and the way they do that in Rome is they let people talk
Okay, I guess we let people talk. I mean,
on the side, privately.
on the side,
Professionals.
Do we have white smoke?
I was gonna say, we heard
Call it
about that.
recess.
Love and love.
Ooh, what's that?
Chosen a vote.
Caucus. So we caucus, is that what it is?
I think so, otherwise you're not gonna get a difference, right?
Can we send it to the gladiatorial
It's
arena?
in the bylaws, here, let me tell you.
I like that.
What did you say?
Well, if it's stuck in Rome, let's send it to.
So here's our rule.
Gladiatorial
Wait, that's the wrong one.
Let's.
So, you all ready?
Yes.
Election of the officers of the Faculty Senate shall take place at the last regularly scheduled meeting of each academic year, but no sooner than June 1st. Nominations and elections for each office shall be held sequentially in the following order: Faculty Senate President, Faculty Senate Vice President, Faculty Senate Secretary, University Council Representative. Voting for all officers shall be by secret ballot. A nominee for an office may only be elected upon receiving at least 10 votes in the affirmative. We do not have 10 votes in the affirmative.
How many
I'm
votes
not
do we
really
have?
sure we've ever had this problem.
How many people voted?
So that's one of the issues. We don't have 19 people here, nor do we have the 19 people that are eligible to
Could we
vote in this
electronically?
election.
Could we vote electronically?
If it was a secret ballot.
It would be.
I mean, as long as
it's
it's a secret ballot,
CAS does things.
I would suppose that would go
Never thought
to
I'd use
you,
that to my
Heidi.
advantage.
But then the question then becomes, what happens? Well, yeah.
Does that violate any existing statutes?
Not on our existing ones, because those are all of our rules.
Did you say that it had to be the last meeting?
It has to be, the election of the officer shall take place at the last regularly scheduled meeting.
Can you ask the other 5 individuals to cast their ballots by a certain date to Heidi? And then you'll have your.
Who are they?
Did we get the votes of our people?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so I don't know, Steve, because you've been involved with this as long as I have.
I mean, my suggestion would just be to do an electronic vote of everybody who's eligible. Since there are only 2 candidates left, that's guaranteed to get at least one having 10. It might also be reasonable to take an opportunity before that vote for both you and Jeff to give a paragraph or two, since you didn't have a chance to speak here, just on sort of where you see the Senate going.
Okay.
And then we do an electronic vote.
We have a series of 3 debates. No teleprompter.
Maybe you could just share, be co-presidents.
So we've never really had this problem. I don't really know how to
You can
go, because you can't really go to the other
So-
officers.
We're gonna run into this, Senator. I think we're gonna run into this also
And your
with the vice president, because we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidates for vice president. I suspect we will not get a majority of that vote. It could happen.
Does it have to be 10 or majority?
Has to be 10.
So, John, you vote. You can sit at the big table here.
Thanks, I'm good.
Deanna, is it the same for the vice president, 10 votes?
Yes, everybody has to be elected by 10 votes or higher. If I remember, well, what we did before with multiple candidates is we voted and we eliminated the lower ones and then we re-voted until we got the majority of 10 or higher.
There was one proxy vote missing in that.
We can't vote for proxies.
Okay. they have
There
to
is,
be here.
proxy is specifically not allowed in our bylaws. So,
There you go.
there I go. So, but there I don't know where I'm supposed to go, because I've got at the end of my Robert's rules in terms of understanding the process. So it seems, and since we have to elect the Senate or president first, like without being able to elect the president first, it's kind of like being on a jury. We're hung, we have a small conversation, we vote again, we keep doing this until we're done.
Are there any other senators or senators-elect who we expect to be here at 4 o'clock for the last half of the meeting?
Not good.
Could we have John leave the room and have a discussion? Is that something we could do?
I would think that that could work. But wouldn't everybody leave the room? Because this is private at that point, right? Or not? That's why I'm calling it a caucus. Everybody
Whoever
but
has a vote,
senators.
yeah, whoever.
Yeah. That seems semi-reasonable.
I didn't hear what the suggestion was.
That we would have a caucus. And so that everybody who is not a senator would need to leave, and those who are involved in the contested experience would need to scoochie on out the door too.
Okay.
And I would assume we would pause the broadcasting as well.
Although
Or not.
we've got,
Well, yeah, that's going to be hard there.
is there a way to make the broadcast private except for the 2 senators?
So are Jackie and Teresa listening on the broadcast, or are they in the hangout?
So you would have to change it. You would have to stop the broadcast, the live broadcast. And then I don't know if you can restart that broadcast after that conversation takes place or not. So that's the risk that you take, I guess. Stopping the broadcast is you might not be able to get it back.
Can you just mute it? And can they call in?
But then they would have
Then they
benefit of
can't
the
hear
caucus.
us. Because we would be muting us.
Well, if they called it. Because if we
Could
muted
they,
the live.
could they email comments to Heidi? If they have comments, and not speak them
I don't
over.
even remember that rule. Has that been there from the start?
Yep. Well, since Jeff Woodford wrote it.
Yeah, you could do it that way.
Yeah, well.
No, that's not very good. I'm just looking at stuff.
It's never come down to 2.
No.
And then there were 2.
No, it has
Well,
been
we-
between 2, but we voted
I think we
again
need
and
to-
again and again until we got our 10 votes, one way or the
People
other.
just kept randomly
So,
changing their votes.
I
Until
think-
everything was in.
I mean, I think that's really what we have to
Well,
do.
we've got, That's the issue.
We got enough paper.
Yeah. Yeah, just take your papers and make them smaller and vote again. That's what I would say.
Ping it on.
We could try that.
Don't give me that, what are we doing, Nicole Howard? What we're going to do is we're going to re-vote.
And I may need a few more.
Yes. We are going to re-vote and we're going to try it.
We've got a lot there. Thank you so much.
But
It'll all come back.
I don't think we're compensated. I think we're sharing that share with small ideas. Papers and voting. But
Without a discussion.
Just vote for the other person.
All right.
Could just 3 of you change? That would be easier.
Yeah.
Not every.
Okay,
I did smaller sheets. We're gonna run out.
we'll try this again. And if it doesn't change, then I don't know. Basically, is anybody who is a senator or going to be a senator, which is why theoretically there should be plenty of people.
Well, where are they?
I don't know. John, did you turn yours in?
I'm working
Huh?
with all the people that are.
I don't think so. They have to be here.
You have to vote.
Call them and tell them to get here.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not really opposed to doing this electronically, but depends what.
Where is
Does it even change?
Well, that is the-
No,
Where I think
same
securities.
order.
That
Well,
makes
we
sense.
can't. we have to get it to the president's
Easy for you to
office.
have.
So if we go electronic, it has to
I
be
see.
electronic for the entirety of the
Yes.
voting process. So that's the slowdown.
Yeah, we can't
But
even,
on the other hand, I'm not sure that's too big. Put everybody up.
unless you have to do it again and again.
What-
Because
what I want.
it's
Yeah.
looking better than anyone went
So what do we got from them? Is that that? Ha! Ha ha!
Did we make it?
Wait, do it again.
That's just noisy.
Huh?
I'm sure what's happening.
So we are all better. Our new president will be John Knudsen Martin. And now we can
Thank you,
do
Senator.
vice president.
Well, that
So-
worked for some reason.
Don't ask me how, but it worked. So vice president's.
John, did you change your vote? I think we.
So, of the people who are vice president, so I am happy to withdraw my name from the list. I will be serving as the vice president of bargaining next year, and we will be bargaining our contract. And it would be nice to kind of step down from things, so I will pull my name off of that list.
I'm doing the same.
Nicole is pulling her name off of that list. John Knudsen Martin may not
I can't
be
hold both
the
offices.
vice president. Now we're down to Steve Tanner and Doug Bryant. I think we should vote. Okay, so your choices are Steve Tanner or Doug Bryant.
Okay.
I have paper, I don't have a writing utensil. She's hoarding.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, hey, Rory, paper
Yep.
and a pen. Kyle, do you need more paper too?
Did I get it?
No, no, no,
Yes.
while you're on there.
I'm giving you several.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of agree.
Blake will do a
But
good job.
if there's one person.
You got everybody over there on that side?
I just want to.
Yes.
We were gonna get a chance to speak. No, we weren't.
I had something for.
I mean, I don't know.
Did I miss anyone?
Doug's been on.
I missed them all on my side.
So we'll go this pile.
Before it
Does that make sense?
Sure.
But Deanna, I didn't, well, that's right, you're out of this, so you can be the moderator.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. What do you get? I'm strong. I'm good. Okay, do they have a second?
A lot of standing on phones.
Probably stands for both of them.
Okay.
I have no idea what the.
That's the one. I'll just send it to you right now.
I'm not going myself here.
Thank you.
Oh, she knows. The one that we are. you need the ability to read.
Okay, so Steve is now the vice president person. Are you gonna burn them?
Okay.
Congratulations.
No evidence.
Secretary only Blake has agreed.
Okay, congratulations, Blake.
Where are you, Blake?
Oh.
So, I think we can all vote by acclamation. So all those in favor of accepting the one nomination, say aye.
Aye.
Woo, that one's quick and easy. It doesn't look like anybody is University Council rep. Anybody want to nominate from the floor? I'll nominate myself. Anybody else?
Well done.
Going once, going twice, going down. All those in favor by acclamation, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed,
You're
say
supposed
nay.
to do that for yourself.
Oh, okay. Whatever. But that way it's done. Okay, we're done.
Thank you, Deanne.
Sure. Here's the paperback.
And the last item came to me from Alex McCadden, who is named his position as Justice for the ASEOU. And they were looking at our Constitution and saw some housekeeping changes that needed to be made, and you have a copy of that in the minutes. And as has been our practice, I am giving this to you for discussion and review right now. We would vote on this housekeeping change, and unless there's a pressing issue that we need to vote at this time, we would vote at this at our next meeting in October. Is there any reason that we need to pass the housekeeping changes on the Constitution this year?
Are you looking at me?
Well, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think so because we don't have the approved bylaws by the board yet, and those bylaws that in the shared governance documents tell us to present the Constitution. So it seems like we would be doing that next year.
It seems to me too. It
Yeah,
seems like
unless-
we can look at these, they seem benign, and
Yeah.
whether they need to be included when we go forward.
Is the University Council going to vote on them? Does anybody know? Do we
I
have?
haven't heard that they voted on
They
it.
already voted electronically.
And they approved it? Well, now that, if we go ahead and do that, then we at least have both bodies have it done and it'll be done.
This is a benign, in my opinion, a benign housekeeping change.
They were sent via email. I know, but we didn't vote for Constitution housekeeping changes, we voted for.
For the bylaw.
For the bylaw.
Okay, so, and is your body gonna meet again?
No, I think we're done.
No, we have to meet one more time.
Do you know if your body's going to do the housekeeping changes?
If things comes forward.
President Franks received at the same time.
Yeah, all it is, did everybody look? Because all it is, I think, is they just changed the EOU board.
It's wherever it's at, Oregon University system.
Well, the trustees, are they invested yet?
They will be,
In July?
yeah, July 1st.
So should we wait till after they're invested before we do this?
Yeah.
I don't see any harm in waiting till next fall.
The
I don't think it
spirit,
has any effect,
I
no
don't
matter
think so.
which way we do it.
I think the spirit of the Constitution stands until we actually make changes. So we can approve the housekeeping changes in October.
I think that's fine. I wanted you to see it now because I've received it now, and this is what we're looking at. And it is a necessary and very small
And it is a
housekeeping change.
discussion instead of an action, so that's better. Okay.
Any further discussion on the substance of this change? So this, and perhaps with other changes to the Constitution, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. This just brings our Constitution up to date, and the Senate will vote on that in its first meeting in October. I will bring this up as an action item. And the last agenda item is for the good of the order.
I was wondering if the new senators could introduce themselves.
I think that's a good idea, Heidi, but we don't have all the new senators here.
Well, but you just need to know who the
Oh, for
people are.
your benefit.
Yes.
So, like,
Blake Gallagher. Secretary.
to be.
Officer and secretary.
Esquire.
Nancy Knowles.
And you have one behind you.
John.
And then Kyle.
And then, what was your name?
Rory?
Rory.
Yep, but I'm not too new.
Heidi, did you get Kyle?
Yes.
Okay, old.
I'm old.
Worn down and broken.
In ways, yeah.
Are we still in good of order stuff? Just since I have the floor and it's not 4 yet, and we're going to be out early, I just wanted to tell you that AOF has had a really good year, the Association of Oregon Faculties, and we have made sure that the staff fee benefit will continue amongst the 7 institutions, which I think is great news for all of us, so that you can continue to have the tuition benefit for yourself or an immediate family member, and it can work at the 7 institutions within the system, even though the system is no longer existing, so that's good. AOF has also sponsored legislation that should be heard on Wednesday in the Oregon Senate to keep the shared services budget going until 2019 to help ensure that the smalls still have that shared services budget coming from the state, which I think is another very positive thing. If you're interested in belonging to AOF, I strongly encourage it. It's only $9 a month in dues, and we lobby the legislature to help meet higher education goals and needs. So it's a very useful thing. If you're interested, just let me know, and I'll be done. For my good of the order.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I'd like to thank John for being president for this year and doing all that hard work.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to serve this. And maybe a sad note is that we ought to recognize that we lost a member of the faculty. Mary Musto passed away, our geography professor, and I was sad to see him go. A nice woman, excuse me, yeah, a nice person to have gotten to know. Anything else for the good of the order? Well, thank you, senators. A lot of good work this year. We did a lot of things, and we got through a number of items that were thorny and hard, and I think we've got a good next year. So with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Good morning.
What's that?